What if the greatest comeback story in history didn't start with a superhero, but with a man, a cross, and an empty tomb? I'm just a believer, someone who's been touched by the story of Easter, and I want to share why it brings so much hope and love to me and to millions around the world. It all began with a man named Jesus. Walking the dusty roads of ancient Judea, he spoke words that no one had heard before, that God's love wasn't just for the elite, but for everyone. That forgiveness was stronger than vengeance, that the last would be first and the humble would be exalted. His hands touched the untouchable. The blind received sight. The lame walked. Storms calmed at his command. Thousands fed from a few loaves and fish, not just miracles, but signs that something extraordinary had entered our world. People were captivated. They followed him in crowds, hanging on his every word. For the first time, many felt seen, valued, worthy of love. But his growing influence threatened those in power, religious leaders who controlled access to God, political authorities who maintained an uneasy peace through control. "He claims to be the Son of God," they whispered. "His authority challenges ours." They spread rumors, planted doubts, turned the crowd against him. Jesus knew what was coming. And still, he gathered his closest friends for one final meal. With bread in his hands, he said something unexpected. "This is my body given for you." Lifting a cup of wine, "This is my blood poured out for you." Then the teacher knelt before his students and washed their feet. The master became the servant. A powerful demonstration that true greatness comes through humility. That night, in a garden called Gethsemane, Jesus prayed alone. The weight of what was coming pressed down on him like a crushing stone. Yet he surrendered. "Not my will, but yours." Soon after, one of his own disciples, Judas, betrayed him with a kiss. Silver coins clinked in his pocket as Jesus was led away. What followed wasn't justice. It was fear lashing out at love. Pilate, the Roman governor, found no fault in Jesus. But the crowd, now turned by lies and manipulation, shouted, "Crucify him." Dawn broke on Friday as Jesus carried his cross through Jerusalem's streets, his back torn from whips, a crown of thorns pressed into his brow. Yet with each painful step, love drove him forward. At Golgotha, the place of the skull, they nailed him to rough-hewn beams. Suspended between heaven and earth, Jesus spoke words that still echo through history. "Father, forgive them." Even in agony, love remained. As he breathed his last, darkness covered the land. The earth shook. The temple veil tore in two. It seemed like the end. His body, wrapped in linen, was laid in a borrowed tomb. A heavy stone sealed the entrance. Guards stood watch. For his followers, hope died that day. They hid behind locked doors, wondering if they had been fools to believe. But Sunday was coming. As dawn broke on the third day, the earth trembled again. The stone, too heavy for human hands to move, was rolled away. Women who came to anoint his body found the tomb empty. An angel's announcement changed everything. He is not here. He has risen. Soon after, Jesus appeared, alive, but transformed. Death itself had been defeated. The ultimate comeback had begun. This wasn't just ancient history. This was the moment everything changed, not just for those who witnessed it, but for all of us. Because Easter tells us something profound about our own lives, that our darkest Friday can lead to a miraculous Sunday, that what looks like the end may be just the beginning, that no stone in our lives is too heavy for God to roll away. In my own life, I've faced moments when hope seemed lost, times when I couldn't see a way forward. Maybe you're in that place right now. Easter whispers to us, wait for Sunday. Hold on. The story isn't over. It tells us that our failures don't define us, that our past doesn't determine our future, that redemption is always possible. In a world of division, Easter offers unity. In our brokenness, it offers healing. In our uncertainty, it offers unshakable hope. The invitation of Easter is simple: to experience the same transformative love that gave Jesus courage in his darkest hour and the power that raised him from the dead. This love is still changing lives today, breaking addictions, healing relationships, giving purpose to the lost and hope to the hopeless. That's the heart of Easter, not just a historical event, but a living reality, not just something that happened then, but something that can happen now in your life. The greatest comeback story in history can become your story too. What will you do with this invitation? If this message touched your heart, join our faith community. Subscribe for more stories of hope, faith, and everyday miracles that remind us we're never alone. Hit the notification bell for upcoming videos about finding light in darkness and discovering your inner hero. Remember, the greatest comeback stories happen every day. Yours could be next. Let's walk this path together.